When it comes to the history of racing cars, few eras are as controversial and intriguing as the 1960s Ford factory race cars, which were so powerful and innovative that they refused to follow set standards for the sport. These cars broke all the rules and turned out to be a rebel that the world was shocked to see. Let's take a look at these so that we can understand why these machines had such fierce opposition in spite of their amazing performance. Why were these illegal? These vehicles were built mainly for speed and competition racing and hence lacked advanced safety features like airbags, stability control systems, or reinforced crash structures that now come as standard in modern-day cars. Let's take a detailed look at why each of them was illegal. 1969. Ford Mustang Mach 1 428 Cobra Jet. The 1969 Ford Mustang Mach 1 428 Cobra Jet was another version of the Mustang created for both style and speed. The car was powered by a Cobra Jet V8 engine with a capacity of 7 liters, which produced about 335 horsepower, although there were suspicions that it could have generated more than that. This vehicle included a practical shaker hood scoop, sporty inside, as well as suspension upgrades meant to enhance performance. With quarter-mile time in low 14-second range and 0 to 60 in barely over 5 seconds, for sure this model will become popular among racing fans. Nevertheless, comparable with other muscle cars of its times, such safety features like airbags, anti-lock brakes, or stability control were absent in this Mach 1. On the average man's hands, it would be too much, and also because these emission standards are very high compared to others at present wouldn't meet it. Therefore, they may no longer be allowed to operate in certain places or events such as races, whose focus is on vehicle design, as well as environmental sustainability, through stringent safety protocols that should be observed during a competition. All these factors combined together might easily make today's Mach 1 428 Cobra Jet illegal if we consider safety and environmental issues from modern standpoints. Perfect for a mafia boss. 1968 Ford Torino Talladega. The 1968 Ford Torino Talladega was built for speed and aerodynamics, especially for racing back in the 60s and for NASCAR. A vehicle that focused on speeding on such tracks, the Talladega had a sleek, drag-reducing and speed-boosting body shape, as well as a robust V8 engine that gave it an impressive horsepower rating. Nonetheless, this need for speed did not come without its share of negative consequences regarding safety. The car's handling and braking systems were basic by today's standards. They could not handle the high speeds it was capable of doing at all. As a result, it became unstable and uncontrollable when racing. As little as having simple crash protection mechanisms or any form of structural integrity, the Talladega left drivers as well as its audience to great risks in comparison to the time culture would deem appropriate. Its lasting impact, like no other vehicle used in racing history, makes no doubt, but its design compromises might make it illegal in present-day motorsport if we regard how far safety provisions have gone before making haste towards just being swift, for instance. Owning this as a common man could literally get you in jail. 1967 Ford Fairlane 427. The 1967 Ford Fairlane 427 represented the era's infatuation for massive, raw power and high speed. But its design and performance would today be associated with profound concerns about security and regulation. The Fairlane 427, which was powered by a huge 7-liter V8 engine that churned out more than 400 horsepower, was built to accelerate in a straight line, and hence, it conquered any drag strip or NASCAR track on which it was driven. However, its safety features could not match its performance potential. Brakes were basic, suspension systems were crude, and handling dynamics were limited. All of these made the Fairlane 427 hard to manage, especially at very high speeds. You know what else these did? It made it illegal. On the average man's hands, it would be too much, and also because these emission standards are very high compared to others at present wouldn't meet it. This meant that whenever an accident happened at top speed, there would be serious consequences for the driver, as well as innocent bystanders due to lack of modern safety technologies such as airbags, stability control devices, or crash-resistant structures. In terms of design, the car had a bulky look, which disregarded new ideas on safety measures since what mattered here was brute power. thus making it a timepiece from an era when practicality came second and performance first. In today's world of motoring laws and regulations, where such a vehicle is expected to face intense scrutiny from authorities concerned with road safety, making this one unfit for public use, and even racing circuits across the country, may as well serve as evidence why any free movement or competition in human speed should be stopped once and for all. 1966 Ford GT40 Mark II. The 1966 Ford GT40 Mark II, well known for its dominance in long-distance racing, is today faced with major obstacles in the safety-conscious automotive industry. It was able to win Le Mans through aerodynamics and the strong V8 engines, but without having modern safety features such as advanced crash protection systems, fire suppression, or materials that absorb impacts. These concerns are heightened by a confined cockpit and basic handling behavior that might cause severe hurt or even death during high-speed accidents. What's more, the outdated braking systems and reduced maneuverability will not be suitable for current performance requirements, putting drivers at risk as well as competitors and spectators too. No wonder such a dangerous machine was meant for racing only and was illegal on normal streets. Therefore, despite its place of history and achievement attained in technology, the design compromises would have almost made sure that the GT40 Mark II is banned from these competitions today and prohibited from public roads too when taking into account an up-to-date line of security standards forgotten in competitive racing and traffic rules. 1965 Ford Mustang Shelby GT350 R. American muscle and racing heritage is conveniently encapsulated in the 1965 Ford Mustang Shelby GT350R, which represents the past era of automotive performance that stands in sharp contrast to contemporary safety and environmental standards. This automobile was specifically made for racetrack dominance via adjustment of its V8 engine, stripped out inside, as well as reduced weight. Hence, the car put a premium on being fast and maneuverable rather than having comprehensive safety features. It featured a basic design without any modern touches such as airbags, stability control, or even crash structures that could save lives during a race at high speed. Raw power and limited handling enhancements in this car improved the possibilities of accidents where lives are at stake, both for participants and spectators. Besides, the vehicle's emissions output cannot comply with existing environmental laws, and it is also far from other similar fuel efficiency guidelines, making it environmentally unfriendly and illegal. In addition to its performance legacy and historical significance, this particular model would likely be illegal today because its design faults make it non-compliant with vehicle safety standards and environmental regulations. Therefore, illustrating the shift towards safer, more eco-friendly transport technologies throughout time. Ford GT40. The GT40, a 60s motorsport legend, is a tribute to invention and the will to win. Developed for Le Mans dominance and other endurance races, it was an example of innovation with a streamlined shape that had an edge in aerodynamics, as well as its powerful engines, such that it won the 24 Hours of Le Mans consecutively from 1966 to 1969. However, it was not always smooth sailing, since they tried to get around laws and rules while pushing their technology far ahead of its time, hence making it immensely successful in many cases, but controversial at all times. Ford became involved in political power plays during this era, as well as using unconventional techniques like making questionable decisions concerning car design, which would bend its legal limits. For a motorhead, a car getting involved in political drama is a sad sight. Nevertheless, despite its historical importance and technical success, moral problems and wider meanings associated with its aggressive approaches put down the reputation of the Ford GT40. The arguments against these vehicles have remained relevant even today, and in light of what happened in recent years when racing has become more fair, but this doesn't, however, stop them from being discussed today within the current context of racing rule debates, which mainly concentrate on safety standards for drivers who are competing each other regardless whether these are past legacies or not. Due to its political involvement, this made it more than just illegal. It made the car controversial. These cars are a reflection of a time when raw power reigned supreme over safety. Yet today, they are celebrated as icons of automotive history. Their design and capabilities, while awe-inspiring, would undoubtedly face stringent regulations today, making them seem almost too wild for the modern road. Ready for some speed with muscle? Here are the 10 fastest muscle cars of 1969. Buckle up and enjoy the ride.